Hi all, I'm Sagar and welcome to my channel. So today, let's continue our RHCSA journey of 60 power packed practical questions to achieve your RHCSA exam. So for today, the question number 26 is based on deploying a Python application as a system D service. So I've created this sample question in which what we are going to do is that we are going to create our own custom system D service, and we are going to start our Python application on boot. Means whenever you boot your system, your Python application will automatically start it. You do not have to start it manually every time. What I mean to say, that whenever you want to run any application or execute any Python code, you have to type python 3 app.py, or you have to like use this command to run that script so that your application will start running. So what we will do instead, we will make this process automatic. Whenever your system boots, the Python application will be started. Okay, so these are kind of instructions before directly going to the Linux machine and start performing this practical. Let me just take you and let's just see what exactly systemd service and how it is, like why it is needed. Okay, so the systemd service is simply a set of instructions that tells Linux how should I start, stop, restart and manage a program or application. Like whenever you use systemctl start your service name, stop any service name, it manages that. Suppose, so like to understand it more, let's just for now suppose that we have a dedicated server. In this dedicated server, you have made this dedicated server to run your Python application. And to start this Python application, suppose you started this Python application manually by typing python 3, the command and the script name. And this Python application is currently running in your machine. But in future, your system gets rebooted, and when the system comes up, like right now currently your system state is up but your application is stopped. So to start your application again, what you will do, you will again go and manually hit the command python 3 and the script. But with systemd services, what we can do, like these are the blocks, like this is the unit files instructions. We are going to see this in a bit, and we are going to understand each and every block of the unit file. So what systemd service will do, whenever your system will go to the reboot state, or any or application crashes, any of the scenario, it will automatically start your application. Like this is the execution start path which we give, which we are going to see in a bit. So the benefit of systemd is that you do not have to manually go and start your application if your system gets. I hope you got or understood the concept of systemd service till now. Now let's just go to my Linux machine and start performing this practice. So the very first thing, if I will go to my question again, very first thing we have to see that there is a code app.py already present in my machine. And if I will take you to this code, and let's just cat this code for now, opt, and it is under app.py. So you can see what this is, a very simple basic script of Python, which is telling, which is a while loop and giving the message welcome to RHCSA training. And every 5 seconds, after every 5 seconds, this script will give you the message welcome to RHCSA. Okay. So our second point is to create a custom systemd service named py-app.service. So let's just create this custom systemd service file, or the unit file you can say. So, but we have to make sure that we have to configure this service so that it should start automatically, it should use python 3 and restart automatically if the application crashes. So we will test all these three scenarios and mention these in our unit file. So let me just clear my screen and let me first take you to one directory. This is a very important directory, etc systemd system. So always remember, whenever you are going to create any custom unit files or a custom unit files for your service or systemd service, you have to create it under this directory. So I'm under this directory. If I'm going to hit ls over here, you can see I have my own two custom service which I have created, one for Prometheus and one for Node Exporter. So for today, I'm going to create it for my own for my Python application. So to do that, I'm going to vi py app dot service. I'm into it right now. I'm going to give certain instructions. What we do, we mention certain instructions, and our systemd service will behave according to these instructions. So the very first thing is we have to give is unit. So this is the unit block. One second, unit block. Under unit block, you just have to specify the basic information of your systemd service, like the description, which I'm going to give like Python. Sorry, there is no colon. It is equals to Python RHCSA demo application. Next line I am going to give as after. I will explain you what exactly every line means, and I'm going to give network dot target. What this means is it is sorry. So this is telling your service that once the network is up, start this service. Okay. So now the second block is the very important block, and from this block only your service is going to be started. So the block name is service block, and the very first and the most important thing we have to mention here is the execution start. So if you know or don't know, this execution start is just like a command you have to, any command you will give, whenever this service will started, it will execute that command. So as you know, to run any Python or execute any Python code, we write Python 3 and you give the absolute path for your code wherever your code is kept, and our code is kept under opt app.py. But the in here in this service, like in the unit file configuration, it is always recommended that you should give the executable path of your command. So what is the executable path of our command? We can just save it and we can do which over here, which Python 3. So this is the executable path. So I always suggest you in your unit file configuration, always give the executable of your command. So I'm going to remove this. So this what this execution start will do, whenever your service will start, even after reboot or you will start it manually, this command will run and it will start your application. Done. The next thing we have to give is restart. This is a very important option. We always keep this option in our production. So this restart always means, suppose if your application is in running state and somehow it got killed. So what if my systemd service is active and running, what my systemd service will do? It will bring that application back again. And I'm going to give that restart. I think it is restart sec. Yes, it means that in restart sec, I'm going to specify a duration, like this is 5 seconds. In 5 seconds, when if the application crashes, it will wait for 5 seconds and bring your service back again. The last block is the install block. Install. And here, let me just write it and I will explain you what exactly this means. Wanted by equals to multi-user dot target. So what exactly this install block is? So here you specify that make this service active or start this service whenever by default target is set to multi-user dot target. Which I mean, if you have to check what is the default target in your machine, if I will check systemctl get default, you can see it is multi-user dot target. So what I am specifying in my unit file, that start this service whenever you will see that multi-user dot target is the default target set in the machine. So done. We have created our let me just vi it again and let's just cross verify we have met all the conditions according to our question. You can see that start automatically during boot, run using Python 3. If you will go, we have given Python 3 executable path. So this we have given it with Python 3, not with Python. And we have given restart always, and here it is mentioned that restart automatically if application crashes. So this restart automatically if application crashes means that we have to specify this restart always block. And start automatically during boot is simply your execution start path which we have given. So whenever your service gets started, it will start your application by running the command. Done. So now we have to reload the system daemon. If you will see in this section, in the third, reload the system daemon. Whenever we make any changes in the system the unit files, we always have to reload the daemon. Without daemon, it will not, system D will not uh, exactly takes the changes, like whatever changes you have made, those changes are not loaded. So to load that, we have to make daemon reload. So daemon is reloaded. Now let's just go back. It is telling us to enable and start the service. So before enabling or start the service, I am going to show you that the system CTL status of my py.service. So currently you can see that is inactive and disabled. If I will do journal CTL -u and my service name, my unit file -f, you can see nothing is coming up as of now. Nothing, my system is not, journal CTL is not reading anything. The moment I'm going to start this service, so I'm going to start this service by, I'm going to start it and enable it also in one go. Systemctl start enable -- now. So you can see that the sim link is created, and if I'm going to cross verify the status of my service, you can see it is active and enabled. So now if I will hit the journalctl command over here, you can see that every 5 seconds my application is running, and you can see the 3843, and it is showing us welcome to RHCSA training. So we have successfully set up. If you want to like cross verify, suppose if my application crashes, if this application app.py crashes, what will happen? So to do that, let's just verify it. It is always good to debug and cross verify things. So I'm going to group grep app.py. So we can see that this app.py is running as a process. So I'm going to pkill this as -f app.py. Okay, I have not given, I've only given single L. So done. If you going to use it again, you can see that those are killed, the main processes. If I'm going to do ps-ef again, you can see that after 5 seconds it gets started. If you want to cross verify it, let's just go to journalctl and see the logs. You can see that it was stopped, py deactivated successfully, scheduled restart job, restart counter is at 1, means that the restart block which we have specified in the unit file, that restart blocks restarted your application, and it is currently running. So I hope you liked it, and I will see you in the question number 27.